One technology that has progressed extensively in the last decades or so has been the technology to genetically modify organisms and other food to make it more apprehensive to humans, more easy, more reliable, whatever. And a lot of people don't understand a lot about them, and they're called GMOs. So let's talk about some GMOs. First of all, I want to state that around 70% of processed foods in the U.S. contain genetically modified organisms, or GMOs. And this is a picture that General Mills got in a lot of trouble for because they made aware that there are GMOs even in Cheerios. And I feel that it's just something we should be aware of, but in the sense that they're not all bad. I also want to point out, what are they? Well, like I said earlier, they're genetically modified organisms. It's where someone will alter the DNA of the food to make it resistant to chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides to be used in the field, to make it so it can be seedless, or to make it even be able to hold vitamins and minerals such as brown rice being able to hold vitamin A. And some of the modern or common GMOs are corn, soybeans, seedless fruit, and easy peel citrus, such as this cutie clementine here, which you can find at the Rock. Yeah, GMOs can get a bad light because most people think of GMOs only cause farmers to overspray. And yes, this is true. They do cause farmers to overspray, and GMOs are modified to be tolerant to these chemicals that we're spraying on the food, such as herbicides and pesticides to kill the weeds and bugs that are infecting our crops. And yes, this can be thought of really dangerous because, Roundup Ready corn, where you can just go ahead and spray the corn with something meant to kill weeds and the corn is fine, is thought of really weird. And unfortunately, it does make super weeds and pests, which is once you start making things immune to something, the virus or bacteria or whatever will also get immune to it. So they build resistances to it, so we have to keep making more chemicals. And I fully understand this. But GMOs are safe. Every single GMO produced or manufactured has to go through inspections by the Food Drug Association, the American Medical Association, and the World Health Organization. As other options for GMOs are not limited to just making crops resistant to herbicides and pesticides. You can also use them to make things virus resistant, such as plums and papayas. We wouldn't even be able to eat if they were not genetically modified to resist the viruses that they're prone to. You can also make them in vitamin enrichment, as we talked about earlier with brown rice. It was genetically modified to contain more vitamin A than regular rice, so we could send it to third world countries and they could have some source of vitamin deficiency. There's also a possibility of vaccines being inserted into these GMOs in the future. And as well as just to note that almost everything is a GMO anymore. Canola oil, rice, as I already mentioned, plums, as well as tobacco, maize, and salmon. They're all genetically modified to better benefit us. And I want to talk a little bit about fruit, because I know a lot of people eat seedless fruit more than they would eat a regular seeded fruit. And it's easier to get a hold of, not to mention the easy-peeled citrus. Some seedless fruit includes grapes, oranges, watermelons, and easy-peel citrus. A big brand is Cuties, like I said earlier. And there's also the modification to help fight disease, as we talked about with the plum-pox virus and the ring spot virus and papayas. And then I'd like to end by questioning you all, by a question that Dr. Teresa Phillips posed. If you could save lives by producing vaccines in transgenic bananas, would you? If I was asked this question, I'd say yes, because at least it would give someone a chance.